And good morning. Today's video I want to talk about communication levels in a business, because one of the most important things that we've discovered that our customers tell us, two things actually. One is that when a client comes from another digital marketing agency, one of the very first things that they say is that the communication was terrible, and that's very important to them. That's what it tells us, okay? And actually in my business, our communications are absolutely on point. We use Google Chat, everything goes into Google Chat. They normally get a response in at least an hour, usually it's almost immediately, because we're sat there working, and so we see what comes up in a Google Chat and we can reply, and then if it needs a phone call, we'll jump on a call and just go through whatever we need to go through. So that's number one. Clients come from other agencies because they're not getting the level of communication. And then the second thing is that when a client then starts working with us, one of the bits of feedback that we get is that one of the reasons they stayed with us for so long, or stay with us for so long, is because our level of communication is so good. And so that is so important in businesses. And I just, you know, I see people and I'm like, oh no, I need an AI bot to speak. And I'm like, what do you need? You need an AI bot to speak to somebody. How do you think that's going to start the relationship off? We stick a WhatsApp number on the top of our website, so when they send a WhatsApp, I respond, and I send it all sorts of times. I just respond whenever I wake up or whatever it happens to be. Much better than a robot. People know it's a robot. People don't want robots. I want to speak to a person. Like, some people might be happy speaking to a robot, AI, but most people actually, they just want to speak to a person who can actually understand what's really going on, and can then book an appointment. And then when they get to be a customer, then that level of communication kicks in. And I think about how many businesses don't have that. Let's just take a random business. Let's take British Gas. How good are British Gas at answering that phone? Dreadful. 45 minutes. Sat there on hold. Imagine treating your customers with such contempt that you think it's acceptable for them to wait for you to answer their call for 45 minutes. Horrific. You would never dream of doing that as a small business. Yeah, these big businesses, because they just don't care, they've got loads of money, there isn't really any choice. Npower, EDF, pick one. They're all just as bad as each other, aren't they? So you've got to have, as a small business, absolutely exceptional methods of communication. And I don't care what that is, we use Google Chat as our preferred mechanism, because you get a person who prefers WhatsApp, one person prefers LinkedIn, one person prefers email, one person prefers Facebook, one person prefers Twitter, one person prefers smoke signals, another person prefers carrier pigeons. No, we don't do that. We get everybody onto Google Chat because that's where we are. And you know, if those people want super fast communication, that's where they need to be. If they then want to do it on LinkedIn, then they can do, but I don't check LinkedIn, and we tell them this. If you want that decent level of communication, ideally you need to be where we are, because we have all these different communication methods. You need to be in a central location, and this is our preferred method. That's not to say that you cannot use a different method. It's just that this is our preferred, and you'll get a faster response. So if you want a faster response, this is what you need to use. And so that works really well. And so people, they just come and use that preferred method, mostly, and some of us don't, and that's totally fine as well. So we get a slower level of service. But they can't complain about that level of service, because we're like, no, you just use Google Chat. We'll set it up for you. It's dead easy. It's actually what they should be doing with their customers as well. And a lot of people, when they come to us, actually end up doing that. They actually go to Google Chat, create that for their customers. That communication has to be absolutely on point. And also, it has to be said that actually, even if someone doesn't use Google Chat, they still actually get quite a fast level of response, because communication is one of the most important aspects of being in business with your customers. Anyway, I hope you find that useful, and we'll catch up with you on the next one. My name's Dan Latto. Have a good day. Take care.